Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. This is a design that I've been working on for the last couple of months. I'm using a lot of this corrugated polycarbonate for building cold frames. It's extremely lightweight. It's going to last 10 years. It has 99.9% UV protection, which is great if you want to transition some plants outdoors. You can see a flat over there. We'll get to that. You can start seeds in the cold out here, your cool weather crops. You can drop this into your garden. You can put your transplants out way early. We'll go over all that in a second. For about 25 bucks, you can build this, or less, depending on how you buy the materials. It is just two 2x4x8 pieces of wood and one piece of polycarbonate. It's 26 inches this way. That's pretty standard, and it's 6 feet long. You can use a circular saw with a plastic cutting blade if you want to make this a different size. But basically, you're going to end up with something that's 1 foot space right in here. 7 feet wide. This will drop right into a 4 foot by 8 foot raised bed, or if you're doing mounds and don't have raised beds, you can put this wherever you want. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like in the garden. This is the setup. The polycarbonate is corrugated. It'll cost you 14 to 20 bucks. 2x4x8s, $2.50 to $4 each. Bungees or string. You can do this for well under $25. Foam board caps off one end. You could cap off both ends, leave one off, leave both off depending on what the temperatures are. But we can start seeds in the ground early. We can extend the season. We can put seed flats out here, do cool weather crops when it's pretty cold, warm weather crops when it's too cold for the warm weather crops, but they will seed start in here. We don't need grow lights. I think it's a really, really good design. We could put on a second piece if we want more insulation. And this is somewhere between a polytunnel, a cold frame. I think it's more of a cold frame design, but you get the point. But this is just going to be a game changer for me to start seeds early, get plants out early, and extend my season. Now, the design's pretty simple. That's a 1 foot piece right in between there. You can use bungee cords if you want. These are light, so the wind can blow these off, possibly. But you can tie some string across there, just put 2 screws. But look how simple this is. Imagine putting these throughout your garden. I'm doing this one-handed. It just pops off. We can pick it up, we can carry it. You can start flats out here. If you're going to do flats, maybe make it a little bit wider if you want. But I designed this build specifically for going onto my raised beds. You carry this out, drop it where you want. You don't need bungee cord. You could just use some string to save yourself some money. Now it's windproof. We also have a gap right here, and that will allow us to cap this off. You could put anything right here, cardboard, styrofoam, anything you want right in here. Put some sticks behind it. It will seal this off. Based on your temperatures, sometimes you're going to want both ends open. Maybe you want to cap off one end. Maybe you want to cap off both ends. But it's really, really simple. And again, we can just pick this up, take it out to the garden, and we're good to go. Quick piece of info here. That's a 2x4x8. It's going to cost you anywhere from $2.50 to $4. It's only 2 cuts. You measure 1 foot, 12 inches, cut it right here. The frame is set up. Okay, let's take this out to the garden. So I just want to show you, I'm carrying this all in one hand, including the bungees, walking it out to my garden, and you're just going to be able to drop this wherever you want. You can make a bunch of these because the setup takes, really, once it's built, 5 seconds to set it up on the ground. You can disassemble it to get in there to tend your plants if they've grown to the size you want, or to harvest, or to water, or to feed, and then you can just store these pieces, until you need them again. So we're going to pick one of these beds. Let's go up to where the beets are over there. We are in the middle of January. You can see we're getting hard freezes, so that's frozen through. I've been experimenting with another design, which I'll be doing a video on if you want to subscribe. This is 2 pieces of the polycarbonate, and the wood frame, just to give you a preview, is set up like that so that the polycarbonate can overlap right here. The cauliflower is beat up. I expected that. I'm not harvesting it, but I just wanted to see how long I could go. That head seems to be okay in there. But again, nice cold frame, highly mobile. You can move it wherever you want, set it up wherever you want, store it for later. But what I really liked was this design, because I think we can all use this. Right now this ground is frozen solid, so if we wanted to plant lettuce, spinach, all of our cool weather crops, radishes, this might be not realistic because the ground is way too cold. The seeds are going to take forever to germinate. So maybe March 1st, I bring this out and set it up. I want the ground to start warming up. I'm going to use, well, almost easy to do. I'm going to use the power of the sun to warm this area. Let's put on the bungees. And the reason I'm doing this, I just want to show you how easy it is to move this throughout the garden. So this whole space can start warming up. Fits right into a 4x8 bed. Again, we can just cut out foam board or anything that fits a foot in here, press it against here, and then we would just put a wooden stake right here, seal it off. The sun is going to heat this up. It's going to get the ground ready. We can start sprouting and growing our rows of lettuce, spinach, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, all our cool weather crops by simply building this. I'm really excited by the design, and I came up with it sort of accidentally. I didn't see this on YouTube. It's probably out there. Everything's on YouTube. But the polycarbonate, 26-inch wide, 6 feet long, super versatile. I'm going to build a bunch of these. You know, I could probably fit maybe 3 in there, but I can get all my cool weather crops seeded out here. If I wanted to bring the flat back out, I could slide it right into here. I could start growing my cool weather seed starts in there. They're going to do perfectly fine. I could start warm season seed starts in here too. I won't need grow lights. I don't have to spend the money on grow lights because this is going to keep that space really warm. Let me show you an example of, well, actually it's not the example, but it's how I got the idea. This was sort of an accident. I bought the polycarbonate for different reasons. I set up these beds, which are like 2x6s, and the polycarbonate fit perfectly in there. Now, it's wider here. This is something that I will start a lot of my crops with this on this year. Same thing, bungee across there. But when you're designing cold frames, you don't want the top to be so high that it's holding a lot of air. This is down low. The heat of the earth keeps it warm in here. The sun warms it up. And I'm going to have a great place to really get started early this year. I took this idea, let's go back over there, and wanted to build something that I could move throughout my garden for $25 or less. Polycarbonate, 26 inches by 6 feet, $14 to $20 depending on where you buy it. 2x4s, you want 2 2x4x8s. You'll need 4 screws to put it together, 4 screws for the bungees. And I can set up, I'll need like what, 2, 4, you know, maybe more to go in there, 5, over there maybe, 6, 7. I can really start a good 4 to 6 weeks early because of this simple design. I hope you consider it. It's a lot of fun to kind of figure out ways that you can prolong your season and start earlier. For instance, you spend the money on this, you start earlier, you get more vegetables. Then we bring this out in September, October, November. We can have plants growing into December, January, depending on your zone. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble, and this is not one of the Friday morning rambles. Really love the design. Hope you give it a try. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com, and please subscribe because I'm going to be showing you how to build something larger for more of winter gardening and getting started really early in the season.